What's up, guys and gals? Just want to share this lesson with you today on the bass drum grid. So we're going to be taking our bass drum and fitting it under a simple ostinato, which is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to be entering all possibilities with putting the bass drum on quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. For this first lesson, we're going to be mainly dealing with just single note groupings. So with this first one, our bass drum will land on all quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to be conscious to not let the bass drum and snare flam with each other on 2 and 4. We want a tight fit whenever we hit 2 and 4. We don't want it to be a little late with each other. We want it to hit at the same time. So again, that kick drum is going to land on 1, 2, 3, 4, and the snare will be 2 and 4. Let's take this slow. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, on the next example, we're going to be working on placing the kick on the E of each number. So we have the E of 1, the E of 2, E of 3, and E of 4. Now, the best way to learn this is to leave the snare off at the beginning. So we're not going to be playing the snare. We're going to work on fitting that bass drum in between those hi-hat notes. So the kick on the E is going to land between the number and the and. So the bass drum will be right in the middle of those two. Like 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. So if you would, take a moment to practice through that and get comfortable. Then we'll add the snare to 2 and 4. One more time. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Now with the snare. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 and 4 E and. One thing you want to be conscious of is that bass drum on the E of 2 and E of 4. As soon as you hit the snare, the kick is immediately going to follow. So it would be like 2 E and, or 4 E and. Again, one last time. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 and 4. On to the next example. Now with eighth notes, we're going to be playing on every and of each number. So again, if you want to, you can leave the snare off, and we're going to play just the kick and the hi-hat pattern to get used to that. So we would say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then with the snare on 2 and 4. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now for our last 16th note grouping. This will be in between the and the number. So this is going to be the and again, we want to take that snare, leave it off, and just practice the hi-hat and the kick drum pattern, such as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1, And now with the snare. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, and up, 2, and up, 3, and up, 4, and up. Again. 1, and up, 2, and up, 3, and up, 4, and up. And now a good exercise would be to take each one, play it through as many times as you can to get comfortable. And then you want to start playing through the whole series. So first off, the very first one we started with, you could play this over and over. We're going to pick up the tempo now so you can hear what it sounds like. So you would say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The second one on the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next would be the eighth notes on every and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then last are the uhs. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And then lastly, I would play through each one 4 times and move on to the next without stopping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the tempo a little bit so it doesn't take as long, and I'm going to give you an example, and then we'll be finishing up here. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, if you were able to complete all of that, congratulations. Again, what you want to do is take your time on everything and play as slow as possible, because this is all about muscle memory, and it's about recording those motor functions and being able to understand this grid. So I hope you can take this slow. I hope you get something out of it, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Have a good day.